you know Tokyo, the capital of Japan, has a whopping 37.4 million residents, which is 4 times more than the population of New York City? Or did you know that Japan has a suicide forest where people go to take their lives? Stay tuned until the end so you don't miss out on any facts, and hit that subscribe button so you never miss videos like this. Fact 1. Japan invented emojis. 2 Japanese phone companies, SoftBank and Docomo, were behind this super popular invention. In 1997, SoftBank, then called J-Phone, launched the Skywalker DP211 SW mobile phone, which was the first in the world to have emojis built in. Docomo followed suit 2 years later with a set of 176 emojis designed by Shigetaka Kurita. Fact 2. Shinkansen. The Shinkansen, also called the bullet train, is one of the fastest high-speed trains globally and represents Japan's technological advancement in transportation. Fact 3. Samurai warriors. From the 12th to the 19th century, the samurai were a tough warrior class in Japan. They had the power to kill and were allowed to strike down anyone who dishonored them. If a samurai brought shame to their lord, they would perform a respected ritual suicide called seppuku. Fact 4. Electric rice cookers. Mitsubishi Electric Corporation sold the first electric rice cookers in 1945. The early versions didn't have an automatic turn-off feature, but Yoshitada Minami invented that in 1956. Fact 5. Cartoons. Japan gave us Pokemon, Super Mario, Astro Boy, and Hello Kitty cartoons. Fact 6. 10th most populous country. Japan has over 123 million residents, making up around 1.53% of the world's total population. Fact 7. Constitutional monarchy. Japan is a country with a constitutional monarchy and a parliamentary government. The emperor represents the unity and identity of the Japanese people. Fact 8. Hiroshima Peace Memorial. The Atomic Bomb Dome and Hiroshima Peace Memorial Museum are places dedicated to promoting peace and remembering the victims of the atomic bombing in 1945. Fact 9. Life expectancies. As of 2023, Japan was the 4th country with the highest life expectancy. The long and healthy lives of its people are thanks to factors like a good diet, staying active, and having access to good health care. Fact 10. Cassette players. In 1979, Sony introduced the TPS L2 Walkman, a personal cassette player. 16 years after Philips, a Dutch company first developed cassette technology. This gadget allowed people to use headphones and completely transformed how they enjoyed music. Fact 11. Mrs. Watanabe's. Japan is home to the world's highest carriage rating, known as Mrs. Watanabe's. Fact 12. Vending machines. Japan has around 4 million vending machines, and people use them every day to grab things like hot tea, coffee, popcorn, and even ramen. Fact 13. Punctual trains. Japanese trains are super punctual. On average, they're only delayed by 18 seconds when running late. They've even apologized publicly for a train that left 25 seconds early. Fact 14. UFO Lab. The UFO Lab, which opened on June 24th, World UFO Day, was created with the goal of gathering, studying, and sharing information about sightings of unidentified flying objects worldwide. Fact 15. Godzilla. Following the nuclear bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, nuclear radiation awakened and gave power to the fictional giant reptile, king of monsters, Godzilla. Fact 16. Largest city in the world. Tokyo, Japan has a whopping 37.4 million residents, which is 4 times more than the population of New York City. Fact 17. 6,800 islands. Japan is made up of more than 6,800 islands. The biggest ones, where all the major cities are, include Honshu, Hokkaido, Kyushu, and Shikoku. Fact 18. Unlucky number. In Japan, the number 4, known as shi, is seen as very unlucky because it sounds a lot like the word for death. That's why people avoid it across the country. Fact 19. Kyoto. Kyoto is Japan's capital for more than 1,000 years. It's renowned for its many ancient Shinto shrines, Buddhist temples, beautiful gardens, imperial palaces, and traditional wooden houses. Even today, the city preserves its history, and there's a rule against using bright colors. Fact 20. Natural disasters. Japan often faces natural disasters like earthquakes, tsunamis, and typhoons because it's located in the Pacific Ring of Fire. Fact 21. Active volcanoes. Indonesia has the most recently active volcanoes globally, with 55. Japan and the United States come next with 40 and 39, respectively. Fact 22. Suicide forest. Japan has a forest known as the Suicide Forest. Okigahara, called the perfect place to die, sadly holds the title of the world's second most popular location for suicides, with the first being the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco. Fact 23. Japan loves nature. In Japan, they really love nature. Besides enjoying cherry blossoms and forest walks, they show this through the tradition of growing bonsai trees. It's like an art form, carefully crafting tiny trees in containers. Fact 24. Tallest Buddha statue. Japan boasts the world's tallest Buddha statue, the Ushiku Daibutsu, created by Higashi Honganji Temple. This enormous bronze statue stands at 120 meters tall in Ushiku, Ubaraki. Fact 25. Barefooted. In Japan, it's common for people to take off their shoes before going inside their homes. Some restaurants, temples, shrines, and historical places in Japan might request you to remove your shoes before going inside. Fact 26. KFC and Christmas. Christmas isn't a formal holiday in Japan since there aren't many Christians. Instead, the tradition is to go to your nearby KFC for a KFC Christmas dinner. Around 3.6 million Japanese people are believed to follow this tradition each year. Fact 27. Japan is very safe. Japan is generally known to be very safe. People say you could leave your wallet on the floor of the busiest metro station, come back an hour later, and it would still be there. Fact 28. World's oldest company. Japan boasts the world's oldest operating business, Kongo Gumi, founded in 578. They specialize in building shrines and temples. Fact 29. Mount Fuji. Mount Fuji is the tallest mountain in Japan. The iconic symbol, known as Fujisan to the Japanese, reaches a height of 3,776 meters, or 12,389 feet. Fact 30. Slurping noodles. While slurping noodles might be considered irritating elsewhere, in Japan the proper way to eat noodles is by slurping them. Fact 31. Dining solo. Japan is recognized as the world's capital for solo dining. With more people living alone and a decreasing population, it's quite common in Japan to ask for a table for one at restaurants. Fact 32. Getting hired as a transit pusher. In Japan, trains can get super crowded. Some railways run at about 199% over capacity, which is crazy. To cope, they hire transit pushers during rush hour to push people onto the trains and make sure everyone fits. Fact 33. 1,500 earthquakes every year. Japan experiences about 1,500 earthquakes every year, and the reason for this high frequency is because of its location. Fact 34. Deadliest earthquake. Japan's deadliest earthquake happened on September 1, 1923. It had a magnitude of 7.9 and lasted somewhere between 4 to 10 minutes. Approximately 140,000 people are believed to have lost their lives in this tragic event. Fact 35. Bizarre festivals. Japan is famous for its festivals, and some are quite unusual. One of the weirdest is the Hadaka Matsuri. In this festival, thousands of men strip naked in public, believing it will bring them good fortune for the year ahead. Fact 36. Zippers. Look at your zipper, and you might see YKK on it, which stands for Yoshida Kogyo Kabushiki Kaisha. This company, founded in Tokyo in 1934, makes around 7 billion zippers each year. Fact 37. Expensive melons. Japanese melons will cost you over $200. These special fruits are significant in Japan's gift-giving tradition. Even samurai used to present tangerines or melons to their shogun as a gesture of gratitude. Fact 38. Coffee imports. Japan buys more than 80% of the coffee Jamaica produces each year. The coffee, called Blue Mountain, and grown in the region of the same name in Jamaica, is really popular and in high demand. Fact 39. Largest fish market in the world. Japan used to have the world's biggest fish market. The Tsukiji Fish Market in Tokyo was the largest wholesale market for fish and seafood globally, known for its tuna auctions. In 2018, part of it relocated to a new spot in Toyosu and reopened as Toyosu Market. Fact 40. Horse meat. Basashi is a regional Japanese dish that's quite popular. It's made with slices of raw horse meat, served with ginger and onions. Fact 41. The earliest geisha were men. Male geishas, called taikomochi or sometimes haukan, were like jesters. It took 25 years after their heyday for women, then known as geiko or arts child, to outnumber the working taikomochi. Fact 42. Mountainous lands. About 80% of Japan is covered in mountains, making it an awesome place to explore. In central Honshu, there's an area known as the Roof of Japan because it's filled with mountains towering over 3,000 meters high. Fact 43. Language orders. In Japanese, the word order is different from English. Instead of saying, I write words, like in English, it's more like, I words write, in Japanese. Fact 44. Tamed deers. More than 1,000 friendly Sika deer wander the streets in Nara, Japan. Originally seen as divine creatures, these deer are now considered a national treasure. They're known to bow to tourists in return for crackers available for purchase on site. Fact 45. The bow. In Japan, bowing is a significant way of greeting, and people put in effort to get it just right. Fact 46. Kimono. The kimono is a traditional Japanese outfit worn by men and women. It's like a long robe that wraps around the body, and the left side always goes over the right. Fact 47. Mats made of rice straws. Traditional Japanese rooms use tatami, which are mats made with rice straw. These mats are always twice as long as they are wide, and their size is standardized based on the region. Fact 48. Snow monkey. Japan is home to the Japanese macaque, also known as the snow monkey, which thrives in colder climates compared to other primates. The Nagano prefecture is famous for its macaques, and they even take hot baths in the winter. Fact 49. Tea ceremonies last 4 hours. The Japanese tea ceremony, called chanoyu, takes about 4 hours. It's a special ritual where they carefully prepare and present matcha, a powdered green tea. Fact 50. Rabbit Island. Japan has a cute island called Okunoshima, and it's famous for being packed with adorable rabbits that you can cuddle. The island is also called Rabbit Island. Fact 51. Square watermelons. Japanese farmers grow square watermelons for the convenience of stacking and storing them more easily.